So shall we start the class? So in previous class we have learned about set operators. So set operators are used to combine the results of two or more select statement into single result set. So we have four set operators: union and union all, intersect, minus or except. So why we are using union operator? Union operator is used to combine the results of two select statement or two tables. It is used to combine two tables, union. So next, what is that union all? So here the duplication will be eliminated from the results by using the union operator. So what is the difference union all? What is the difference between union and union all? So union all means it will combine all the records from the two tables. So duplication will not be eliminated from the results by using the union all. So next, what is that intersect? Why we are using the intersect? So if you return the results of common results for the common values from the tables, you have to use the intersect operator. So here we have syntaxes: select star from student and intersect and select star from student one. So So it will display rows which are present in the first table but absent in the second table. It will display the first table, but it will not return the matching records. If one match is found, it will not return. So it will return the first table. So select star from student except select star from student one. In previous classes, we have learned these operators. And next, what is that exist operator? So exist operator, why we are using? So exist operator is used to test for the existence of the record in subquery. So subquery means, what is the subquery? So inside another query, the subquery has, so subquery is query inside another query. So it is called nested query. It is also called as nested query. So if the subquery is executed, if it will return the outer query. So here you can see the syntax: select column name from table name where exist of, this is the subquery, this is the outer query, this is the main query. After exist, whatever you have defined, that query is called nested query. So subquery, this is the subquery, this is the main query. If the subquery exists, if the whatever you have given in the subquery, so if it will return any record, any one record, then the main query will be executed. Otherwise, the main query will not executed. So the subquery is executed, query will be executed. Otherwise, the main query will not execute. Let me check one example. So syntax, what is the syntax? Select column names from table where exist. This is the subquery. So let me check. So our database is class database. What is that? I want to, what is our table name? Select start from AMP1. So just execute the query. So our table has department in EI, date and working hours, country, location, age. So just select the column name, any column name. So I want to select EMP ID and EMP name. Next, what is that? I am selecting salary from EMP1. So where, what is the syntax? Where exist, where exists. So if these whatever you are defining in the subquery, if that query true, if that query returns any value, so the outer query will be executed. So next, what is that? Select next and giving the salary. Select salary from EMP1, where I will give where condition. So where salary greater than 10,000. So here what is the subquery? This is the subquery, and here we have outer query. This is called outer query. So if subquery is executed, so then the outer query will return records. Just select the statement. Just execute. So here we have EMP ID, EMP name, EMP salary. So we have defined that 3 columns in the outer query. So whatever we have written in the subquery, select salary from EMP1 where salary greater than 10,000. So if this condition is true, so the outer query will be executed. So let me check. I will give 90,000. If it is the nested query will return any value. So here we have. So I will give less than 9,000. So this query will be return these values. Then so the inner query is executed. So this condition is true. So next, what is that? I will give 1,000. So what will, just see what will happen. So here we have no values because the inner query is not executed. So if the condition, based on the condition, if the condition is true, the inner query will be executed. If the inner query executed, the outer query always executed. So next, what is that? So not exist operator. So why we are using not exist operator? Not exist is used to check if subquery does not return any rows. Subquery not exist in outer query executed. This is useful when you want to find the records that you don't have a corresponding record in another table. So what is that example? So this is the syntax. So select first name, last name. Here this is these are the column names from table name where not exist. If the subquery not existed, the outer query will be executed. So what is the exist? If the subquery is existed, the outer query will be executed. So what is the rule for not exist? If the subquery is not exist, the outer query will be executed. Let me check one example. So select EMP ID. So I will give EMP ID, E name and salary from EMP1 where what is that? Not exist. If subquery is not exist, the outer query will execute. Select, I will take the salary from EMP1 where salary, suppose I will give 10,000. If the subquery is not existed, the main query will execute. So here the subquery is not existed. So that's why just it will display the column names, EMP ID, EMP name, salary. So I want to change the, so I will give equals to operator. So I will give 5,000. So just see what will happen. So this is also condition not correct. So less than 5,000. If there any records, the subquery will execute. So otherwise it will not execute. So I will give so not exist. So here we have results. So the subquery is executed, then outer query is always executed. Here the result. So if subquery is not existed, it will return. So otherwise, it will not return any records. So next, what is that? Limit and offset. Why we are using the limit class? So for example, if you have 10 records in a table, if you give a limit 5, it will display only 5 records. If you give a 6 or 7 limit 5, limit 6, so it will display 6 records or 7 records. So limit class allows you to specify the maximum number of rows to return from a query. So for example, what is the syntax? So here we have syntax, select column list. We have column list, column names from table name. You can, no need to give order by. If you want to, so if you want to in order, if you want to display the records in order wise, just you have to give the order by class. So select EMP ID from EMP order by. Here I have given the EMP ID, so you can give any column name. So here I want to give the ID. So EMP ID and EMP name. Salary. Salary from EMP1. So what is that limit? Where we have to give the limit? So limit for which column you want to limit? Just I want to give the EMP ID. So where, sorry. So what is that? EMP ID. So I'm giving the order by class. It will return in order wise records. So I will give the limit 5. It has to display 5 records. So here we have 5 records. So if you want to give 10 records, just give 10. It will display the 10 records from the table. So here we have 10 records. So next, what is that? So offset. Offset is used to skip a number of rows. Suppose you are giving offset 3. So it will skip 3 records. Remaining fourth record. So it will display from fourth record. So just I am giving the example. So EMP ID, EMP name, and salary. EMP1. So I'm giving the so I will give the limit 10 without order by class. What will happen? So one. So order by. Next, what is that? EMP ID. So here we have limit 10. It will display the 10 records from the table, EMP table. I'm giving the offset 4. So unknown column, EMP name. We have the table name EMP EID, sorry, EMP ID. And here we have given E name, right? So we have to correct it. Then select the statement and execute. ID and name salary has displayed. Here we have given offset 4, right? So 4 records are so skipping rows 4. So from 5th record, it has displayed. So why we are using limit? If you want to display the 10 records or 100 records, if you want to give it, if you want to give the limit, just you have to use the limit class. Next, why we are using offset? It will skip the rows, whatever you have defined in the query, or if you are given four rows or 4 rows in offset, it will skip that 4 rows and the remaining rows will be displayed. Next, what is that? So here the comments. So what are the comments? Comments are used to explain the section of SQL statements, single line statements. So there are 2 types of comments, single line comments and multi-line comments. So why we are using single line comments? Single line comments are starts with hyphen and ends with hyphen. And if you give comments to the SQL query, that query does not execute it. So here we have queries, right? So if you give hyphens, so it will not execute. So these are the comments, single line comments and multi-line comments. So multi-line comments starts with So slash asterisk, this is the asterisk slash. So I want to give this. So start with slash asterisk. So the color automatically changes, right? So if you remove the slash asterisk, so here normal. So you can give like this the comments. It will not, this code will not execute if you are given the given the comments to the statements. It will not execute while executing. So if you remove that, it will be in normal position. So this is the comments. So next, what is that? Case statement. So why we are using case statement is it is used to apply if then else logic within a SQL query. In Java also we have used if else statement and else if something statements, right? So in SQL also having some conditional statements. So it depends on the condition. So the case statements in SQL is used to apply if then else logic within a SQL query. It allows you to evaluate a list of conditions and return one multiple possible result of expression. So here, if the condition is false, not returning any value. So here we have two simple cases, simple case and searched case. Two types of case statements, simple case and searched case. What is that simple case? So here the syntax: select column names case. When the condition is true, then it will return the result set. So then it will go to the else block. So result, here we have example: select age and case when employee age is 18, then teenage. It has to display this age to teenage. When age equals 25, then it has to display young adult. So or else other. So let me check one example. What is that? So select. I will give employee ID and age. So what is the next? Case. Case, what is that? So case when employee age is 18, then it has to display teenage. So when age 25, then it has to display young adult. If these two conditions are not true, so the result set will go to the others, go to the else block. This is the this is the condition. So these two statements are not true. The result will go to the else block. Then it will display the results. Next, what is that? When what is that? EMP age or something. So what are the column names? Select star from EMP1. We have to give the names. Here age. So we have to define age. So here also this is name. So when the employee age 18, it has to display teenage, right? So when age 18, then it has to display teenage. So when age 25, Then it has to display young adult. Then what is that? If these conditions are true, the result will be executed. Otherwise, the result will go to the else block. So else, what is that? Else I will give other. So if these two conditions are not true, the result will go to the else block and it will display other. So next, what is that? What we have to do? So end. You have to end the case statement as. So I will give age from EMP1. So our table name EMP1. So here you can see the age column. So here check the conditions. We have defined 18 age. We have given 18 age. So then it has to display teenage. So here check the table. So here we have 20. 20 means, so it will go to the other. So here the 23. So 23 other. So here the 18, it displayed teenage, and so here the age 25, then it displayed young adult. So this is the simple case. So searched case and under case statement searched case. So let me take another example. So I will take the E name and EMP ID and EMP E name. So I'm explaining this. So here 1000 means if you have defined 1000 salary 1000, it has to display low scale. So 10,000 to 20,000, it has to display medium, then medium. So in the third condition, if the salary has 20,000, it has to display high scale. So how can we check? So here the example, when salary 10,000, then low scale. When salary 12,000 and salary 12,000, I have given 12,000 two times. Just change that. Suppose 22,000, then medium. Sorry. So here I am giving the 10,000, less than 10,000, and greater than medium scale. It has to display medium scale. 1,000 to 10,000, I will give 10,000. When salary 11,000, then it has to display high scale. So let me check one example. Name. So salary. In case. So what is the condition? When salary, I will give suppose less than, sorry, salary equals to 1,000 or 3,000. So then it has to display low scale. So I did not take these values. I am taking other values. So next, what is that? When salary, suppose this is the, I'm using the AND condition, less than 3,000, then I'm salary greater than 5,000 or 10,000. You can give anything, and whatever you have required, then you have to give that values. Then what is that? So So medium, I will give a, what is that? Medium scale. Next, what is the rule? So when salary greater than 11,000, so I am giving the 11,000, then it has to display high scale. And then you have to end the case end as I'm giving the salary from EMP1. So as means you have to give the alias names. No need to give the. Let's see what happened. Just execute the query. So here one error. So what is that? Here I am not given then condition. Just execute the query. So here we have EMP ID, ename, salary. So here if you are not giving the as keyword, just if you are not changing the column name, so it will display like this column name. So whatever you have written in the query, so all it will display. So just I am giving the age. So as I am using the as keyword to change the column. Let's check. So here check once EMP ID and EMP name, salary, age. So here 30,000. So first 3,000 it was null. So because it has loss and the so next what is that? 30,000 high scale greater than 11,000. So it is the high scale. So 45,000. So you have to give the else also. Else if these conditions are not true, then go to the else block. The result will go to the else block. Just display, execute the query. So here, so salary 15,000. So it displayed high skill because we have given 11,000 in the salary. So it has displayed high skill. So 3,000 has low skill because we have defined that salary equals to 3,000. So it has displayed low skill. Then what is that? So here the 5,000. So we are not defining 5,000 anyway. So it has go. So it will display the other. So in this way we have to use the case statement. So in the case statement we have two types, simple case and searched case. Next what is that? If null or false function. If the table has any null values, just you have to replace by using the false function or operator. So if null operator. So we can also call it as operators and functions. Here the function symbol closed. If you have defined anything in parenthesis, this is also known as function. So next what is the false function? So syntax if null expression. This is the column name and this is the alternate value. If the column name any record null in the column, just it will replace by the alternate value. So let me check one example. You can easily understand. Select. So We check our table has null values. So e name has null value. First record has null. Replace. So you can also if null or policy. So I'm using the if null. So what is that? You have to give the column name for which column you want to replace. You have to define that column name. Next, what is that? So for name, you can give any name. So I will give the Sarah from EMP. Sorry, EMP1. Our table name 1. So here Sarah are replaced with the Sarah. First record replaced with Sarah. You can give the column names also. So EMP ID. So I will give EMP ID and E name. So here whatever you have defined in the function E name and Sarah. So we have null values in the E name. So if you want to give if you want to give null values to other columns, just we have to define the column names first. Then for so for which column you want to replace, just give that name and so here the column name it is not look like column. Just you have to give the alias names as. So I will give the E name. So here EMP ID, EMP name and EMP. Sorry, 2 times EMP name. Here we have defined, no need to define that. So already we have given in the if null function, right? So to replace that value, just here. So E name. So in this way you have to use the if null function. And call C function also similar to the, these are the, both are same, call C function if null. So I am giving the call C function. So here I am giving the call C. Police function, just execute the query. So same. If null and police functions are same to replace the values into the table. So next, what is that? So any and all operators. So any and all operators are used to perform comparison between single column value or range of value. If any value, whatever you have defined in the nested query, if any match is found, it will return the outer query. So any returns, if any of the subquery values meets the condition, it will return the whatever you have defined in the select statement, it will display. So if the condition will be true, the operation is true if for any one of the values in the range. So here the two operators, any and all. So here we have syntax, select column names from table name, where what is that? Column name operator. Operator means equals or less than, greater than something, any operator. So any, here we have any operator. So we have to give the any operator. So subquery, what is the subquery? Select column name from table name where condition. So here we are using the operator and any of these subquery values true at the specified condition, then the outer query will be executed. This is the main query, this is the nested query. So any of these query values executed, then the outer query will be executed. Otherwise, the outer query will not executed. So let me check one example. You will get time. So select EMP ID and so E name, salary. Salary, I have given 3 columns from table name. What is our table name? EMP1. So how can we use the uh, any operator? It has, you have to use the where condition. So where salary. So I'm using the equals to operator, any operator. And so here any of select salary from EMP1 where giving the salary so greater than 10,000 equals to 10,000. So if any one condition true at this where condition, so this query will be executed. So if the inside query is executed, then outer query will be executed. Just select the statement, and so here we have only column names because this condition will not true. Suppose I will give 5,000. If the condition is true, then it will display the records. So here the salary, one match is found. So if the salary 5,000, so it will check the all the record, check to all the records and it will display. So here 5,000. So who is that? Employee ID is 7 matches to our condition. So that's why it will that's why it has executed. So then outer query always executed. So what is that? Next, what is that? So all operator. Why we are using all operator? All operator returns true if all the subquery values. So so all operator is used with select and where and having statements. So here you have syntax select column names EMP ID and EMP name salary from EMP where salary equals to all. So it will check all the condition, then it will return. So any operator using any, so it will one match is found, it will return the record. So let me check one example. Select EMP ID, EMP name, salary from EMP1 where I'm giving the salary, and it will check all the values in the subquery. So it any operator, it will check any one condition. So it will check all the values, but if any match is found, it will return. So all operator, it will check all the values in the subquery. So select salary from EMP1 where salary equals to 5,000. I will give 5,000 same. So here I am changing 3,000. Just select the query. So here one match is found, employee ID, employee name and 3,000. So here the salary 3,000. I am giving 25,000. So here these are all the records. So it will check all the values and return these values. So greater than 25,000. So no. So the table has no greater than 25,000. So here also I'm giving the greater than. So no values are there. Next, what is that? So here I am giving equals to operator. So if one match is found, then it will return the records from the table. So here the values. So if inner query is executed, then outer query always executed. So next, what is that? Subquery. So this is the last topic, today's topic. So why we are using subquery? Subquery is, what is the subquery? So subquery is inside the another query. So can you see the example? So here the syntax. So this is the whatever you have defined in the parenthesis, that is called as subquery. So the outer query means so wherever you have defined outside of the parenthesis, so that is called outer query. So we can replace the subqueries in a number of classes. We can also use subqueries with where class, having class, and used with select and update, insert, delete statement along with the comparison operators. So subqueries must be enclosed with the parentheses. So on the right hand side of the operator, on the right side of the operator. So let me check one example. So it is similar to the if find any all operators. So subquery means query inside the another query. So it is also called as nested query. So select, what is that syntax? Select column names from table name. I will give a EMP ID and e name and salary from EMP1. So this is also similar to the if and all any and all operators, where salary equals to something. I will give select. Here I am not using any all operators in the subquery. From EMP1, where salary equals to 3,000. I will give 3,000. So if the subquery is true, then outer query will execute. So here the record 2 has 3,000. So if the subquery is executed first, then so SQL server will check the subquery first. So if the subquery is executed, then the main query will execute, always executed. So if it is wrong, if it is not true, then let me see what will happen. So here 5,000 also true. So I am giving 52,000. If the condition is true, the subquery is executed. So let's execute the query. So here the subquery will not execute it because 52 the table has no 52,000 salary empty salary. So then I am giving the 10,000. So no, this is also not correct. So I am giving 5,000 only. So here one match is found, seventh record, EMP ID 7. So the SQL server has SQL server will check the subquery pause. Then if it is executed, the outer query is always executed. So next, what is that? You can also give a select start from EMP1. So you can also use order by class. So salary. So I'm using this. So here one error. I'm using in operator. So if the condition is true, the result will. So I'm using in operator. This is the in operator. So if the subquery is inside the main query, so the subquery will execute first, then the query will execute. So here we have salaries. Order by salary. If you are giving descending order, just it will display the employee salaries in descending order. So like this way. So if you want to display ascending order, just give the ASC. ASC indicates ascending order, DESC indicates descending order. So this is the table. So if the inside query executed, the outside query always executed. So this is about today class. Tomorrow we will discuss other topics. So thank you so much.